Hey there, Ted, Debbie, Sam, back here behind me. We're in Arizona, and we are heading into the Kofa Wildlife Refuge off of Highway 95. The trip today is, well, it's going to be just an in and out trip. So we're going to go in and camp tonight and look at some things. It's in the mid-afternoon right now, so we didn't want to start off on the major part of the trip. And then tomorrow we're going to drive out and we'll go down to King Road and start a big loop through Kofa and into the heart of Kofa, we hope. So that's the plan. It's a little windy today. There's a chance of some rain tomorrow maybe, because it's us, and no matter where we go, it seems to rain. So we'll see what happens with that. And that's about it. So we're on the Queen Road right now, as opposed to the King Road, Queen Mine Road. And we'll check in with you when we get a little bit farther down the road. The Kofa area is named for the rich King of Arizona gold mine, discovered in King Valley in 1896. The mine used to stamp its property K of A, and the mine was hence referred to as Kofa. The Kofa, Arizona Post Office was established on June 5, 1900, and was discontinued on August 27, 1928. The old mine and its surroundings remain private property, and some of the old buildings are still in use as winter homes. Was a half-day affair. We drove in from Highway 95 on the Queen Mine Road and eventually made camp right at Skull Rock. People who spend too much time in the desert say they see faces or even emoji or familiar shapes in the rocks. It's actually hailing right now. We got a little bit of rain. It was pretty windy last night. After midnight, we had to get up and batten down the hatches during the night. And it's a little chilly right now. It's probably about 49 degrees, maybe a little bit less. We've been a little slow this morning. It's probably 10:30, something like that. We haven't really packed up yet, but we're gonna pack up soon and hit the road. But Skull Rock behind me, really just a spectacular place up here. The formations, the rocks, the colors, just awesome. Kofa's amazing. So we're gonna pack up and hit the road, and we'll see you a little bit later. Hopefully it warms up a little bit. Well, it's about 11:20, and as you can hear, we've got a squall going through right now. Pretty typical for one of our trips. So we're hunkering down right now. We've got almost everything packed up, but we're gonna let this pass and then we'll pack up the car and head out. After heading south, we turned off onto the King Road, a very well-groomed and maintained road. It's an ideal location for RVers and boondockers, as well as a staging area for side-by-sides. After about an hour and a half, the road narrowed, and we never saw another vehicle the rest of the day. It was really windy the entire day, and our goal for the campsite was to find a place somewhere tucked up in a canyon that might be out of the wind. As we started looking for a campsite, the road became a little more difficult to follow, causing us to retrace our steps a couple of times. Eventually, we found a great campsite right off the road where the mountains blocked most of the wind. We are now in the camp, getting ready to set up. Somebody was nice enough to leave a whole pile of firewood here, which is nice. I think that's over here. And yeah, I think it's time to get set up and make some dinner. Our route for the day took us back to a dirt road that ran along the side of Highway 95, then out the King Road, and then we worked our way into the mountains and eventually found our campsite. Good morning. Wow, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday we had hail and rain and wind, and today we woke up to just clear skies, calm air, a beautiful sunrise. Last night it was super clear, it was dead calm. We had a beautiful moon up there. Oh my gosh, it was so quiet last night. Just amazing. So relaxing. It's the only way I can think of it. I love the Sonoran Desert. I love having the saguaros around. I don't, maybe it's the way they look, that sort of humanoid thing, but it almost makes you feel like you're not alone. And it's just beautiful. The plant life here is spectacular, and then you mix that in with the Kofa geology as well. Kofa just doesn't disappoint. It just keeps going on and on and on. We're looking forward to more today. We're gonna head out of here. We're gonna go over Ingresser Pass, and then we'll head north, and then cut back in to the mountains, and maybe we'll find a cabin or two today that were built back in the 30s. That should be interesting, and there should be some great wheeling along the way.
Drivers beware, we donated a lot of paint to the desert plants on this trip. The Kofa area is part of the Sonoran Desert, famous for being the home of the saguaro cactus. It's also home to a rich diversity of plants including ocotillo and several species of cholla cactus. Here's a fun fact. The ocotillo name is found on more Southwest street signs, businesses, and schools than any other desert plant, including the Joshua tree and the saguaro. If you'd like to hear more ocotillo fun facts, just drop us a note in the comments below. Our plan was to look for a campsite on the other side of Bighorn Pass, whose road got pretty narrow on the way up.
Good evening. Well, we made it into camp. The sun's just going down, the temperature is dropping, a little bit of wind is picking up. We're getting set up. As you saw earlier today, we had some great views along the way. And we made it over to the Voodoo cabin. Today is Friday, and the Voodoo cabin, well entrenched with a lot of people. Really seemed to be waving at us, so we just moved on. Went up the Voodoo Wash, and one more campsite we passed over a lot of people, so many tents set up. Made it up to the next cabin. Willie, I can't remember the last name, and tent 2 had a lot of people at it, so we didn't film in either of the cabins that we passed, which are old ranch cabins from the 1930s that are available for the public to use on a per basis. After that second cabin, we made a sharp right and started heading in an easterly direction. And the trail got pretty narrow, got a lot of pinstriping. It was very up and down, and I think one time we had to use a locker. Not that it was so technical, it was just steep and slippery. And other than that, it was a fun little drive. We found this little valley here. Wind's making my eye tear. We found this little valley here, and it's pretty. Nice sunrise going on behind us. We're setting up. We're setting the tent up, and it has some town.
Well, we've seen a lot of Kofa the last few days, but is it the best desert? Well, there's still lots more to come in part 2. And just for comparison, we're going to take you to one of our favorite desert locations on our way home, right here on Adventure Beyond 60.